Hello.
So we're here once again, a few months later. A lot of energy and effort has got us to here. But the big core reason that we're back and bigger and better than ever is because this is super important. We spend so much of our business life talking about business, talking about growing businesses, scaling businesses, getting finance, getting money, leveraging, buying property and creating ultimate wealth inside and outside of businesses. And I think you've probably heard it from me a multitude of times saying we need to be helping more people, right? We already help a lot of people. We've got amazing clients, got an amazing growing business, but there is methods and mediums to help others in a much more leveraged way. And I think, that's my number one word. And this gives us a platform. Gives us a platform to take all those strategies, all those tactics, all those things in our toolkit and give back and help more people and take money out of the equation. It can just purely be a philanthropic way to help more people. So it's good to be back. It's going to be a consistent back. It's not going to be a just back. It's going to be helping people more create really highly profitable businesses, leveraging that profit and making much more money off property. So that's our model. Talk to us about the model. What is our model, Lee? You've been in the business for a couple of years now. You've seen things transformed. What is our model, and how's it going to help the viewers and the listeners?
Yeah, I think what you just said was excellent. There was something you said there, though, our business life. And I think it's actually the model that we're going to talk about throughout this that underpins this entire podcast is a lifestyle. So even we don't spend our business life together. We actually spend our life together. If you think about the conversations we have, the work we do, the way we exchange ideas or we debate over things, it's throughout our entire lives. So when it comes to making profit, yes, you run a business, but it's not a 9 to 5, right? There's things that are moving constantly. There's decisions you need to make constantly. They impact your personal life. Then when you're talking about leverage, you're pulling in business profits, you're pulling in personal incomes, you're pulling in other people potentially as investors, JVs, etc. You're leveraging what's around you, and then you're making more wealth overall through property. So that was kind of on my mind when you were talking then. And it is three-pronged. Everything we do is kind of a triangle or three-prong in terms of connecting pieces to make a bigger impact in your life. So this is what it's all about. 3 pieces that connect really beautifully together and that are a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I think everything has a flow-on effect. And too often in podcast land or in business land, there's a lot that go up business, and then there's a lot that go up property and property podcasts. Some talk about just finance in isolation. There's always these different singular components of a whole.
Correct.
And I think being accountants and business consultants and CEOs and financial planners and property experts and enthusiasts, we're lucky to have in this wealth piece the whole or the sum of the parts, or the total of the parts, I should say. So when you can take the total sum and you can put it into a flow or a process, you can understand the domino or the ripple effect, which ultimately is, like you said before, you make a lot of profit or you create a good valued business, you then get a lot more access to capital. You get a lot more access to finance. Brokers want to talk to you. Banks want to talk to you. Other people want to talk to you with capital and money. And by doing that, you get to ultimately double your profits because you get to go and invest in property.
It's a compound effect. And we talk about it, there's Atomic Habits is on the table. Then we talk about the 1%er, and we're going to talk about that as part of when we talk about business profits. There's not one answer. Some claim that there's one answer for everything, but something that we've learned in our careers over the past, say, 20 years is that it is a compound effect. It's by doing things better every single day and taking action and not letting stress or worry or any of those other things that create all that limiting belief hold you back. It's about how do we solve this? How do we play chess? How do we create this compound effect by just implementing the 1% changes every single day? And that's what we're going to talk about a lot here because there are so many 1%ers in those 3 pieces.
Massively. And I think you're smack on with, in one of the domains, we'll call it 3 domains for argument's sake, to creating real wealth inside and outside of business. I've seen really successful business owners, like super successful business owners in terms of profit and valuation of business that have no property or have
Yes.
ridiculous cash reserves, but no property, no wealth, or the property that they're in is just, there's no process behind it. It's just buy it for the sake of buying it.
Yep.
Or they've got these huge, positions where they could buy a lot more property, but they don't even know. Then I've
Or they're
seen
scared.
they're scared, they're unaware, they're
Yep.
uneducated,
Yep.
they're just super savvy business owners.
Yep.
And on the other end of the spectrum, I've seen people with absolute crap businesses. There's no juice in the businesses, no profit in the businesses, no people process in the business, but they've got good portfolios of property or they've got good property developments. And then I've seen in the middle people that really know how to get the money, how to get the money, how to get finance, whatever it may be, but they're either not great in business or they're not that great in buying property. And I think it is a three-prong attack. It's a three-prong flow. It is a massively leveraged and compounded impact from getting to the root cause first, which is property and cash and money and how that's generated, then being able to, ideally borrow a amount of money that's 10 plus times that to then go and double your profits through much more property and wealth. So
Yeah.
it is a huge compounded effect.
Yeah, and I'm so excited because as you're talking, I'm thinking about all the different scenarios, all the clients we've helped, what we've done personally, all the times we've played this game. And you've got to play a game. You've got to have fun with all of this because we know if you get too serious and you get really methodical and you get too rigid with your approach, it can get really hard and overwhelming and you could just, dip out. So I'm really excited to talk about that journey. And I think this podcast could go on forever because I'm listening to you talk going, there is so many strategies, there's so many things. But I think that's the main purpose of this podcast is to make sure that every episode people can walk away with something that they can tangibly implement. And we want to make sure it's really, really useful. It's not talking about, fluffy things or exciting things or whatever. It's about real, authentic strategies that we've used personally or we've helped people implement personally to get further in life and go on that journey with us.
And I think that's important. Is this podcast is important to me, and I know you, to create legacy. We're very fortunate and we're very grateful and very blessed that we've been in business for a very long time between both of us. Like if you put both our business lives together, there's decades and decades and decades of wisdom, like real wisdom.
Showing our age now.
Yeah, I feel 50. Our property circle of influence is huge. So we're very blessed with our lives if you look at it objectively. But my real intent or my real why for this is to actually be able to give back and not give back, like you said, in riddles and give back in ego and give back in, oh, hey, this is how great we are.
Yes.
Rather, it's to ultimately give simplified education of what we know so other people can use what we've got. And the benefit of doing it and not charging for it is that you've got huge economies of scale or huge, impact throughout the lands where they can go, cool, I can go there, get real education, like I'm sitting with an accountant, sitting with a financial planner, sitting with a property enthusiast, and inject that into my business. And that's what my hope is. That what you said to me yesterday, let's not make this another fluffy podcast. Let's make this tangible. Let's make this where we take our intangibility or our insights or our intuition that we've learnt through many, many years, and let's actually put it to the people with simple tangibility, simple action items, simple next steps. But naturally, as part of your journey, you may be one of those that goes, I want more. I want more help. I want more guidance. I want more specific help, financial advice, whatever that may be. And obviously, we believe in what we do. So if that's you, you can find us, Strategiq Advisory. We've got a good website. It's getting better and better. That's where you find us. That's where you find out more about us. And as always, I want to make sure people always get help. If you need help, reach out. We are there. But this is the first point of call to get started. Okay, it's free. Doesn't cost you $1. But if you need more help, we're here to help.